afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on a very busy Tuesday. So let's get right to it. A local middle school principal is hit and killed by a vehicle this morning as she was taking her daily walk.
Deadlock on Capitol Hill not seen in a century. I'm Nicole D'Antonio on the fight for Speaker of the House.
And the family of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin is thanking first responders, medical personnel, and well-wishers for their support after suffering a cardiac arrest on the field.
Let's take a look outside. What a dreary day. I don't think it ever got light out.
No, it was rainy, which is unusual
drizzle,
for January.
And some snow with a question mark. Greg's in the backyard. When can we expect some flakes?
Yeah, when can we expect the sun even is another question too here. But yeah, it's dreary out there. We got the drizzle going on. Basically the storm system, we were kind of in what we call a dry slot, drier air loft, so we don't get that. But we get the low clouds and drizzle. All the actual thunderstorms is pushed to the east with the system as you zoom in. Still the snow to the north, but overall we're pretty clear with just a few showers here and there. We're just going to have to really deal with this drizzle and low clouds for the next probably couple next 24 hours. Overall, the thunderstorms have actually occurred towards Chicago. They even had hail reports as you zoom in down there, so they had some fairly strong storms push through. Otherwise, like I said, temperatures are above freezing, so we don't have to deal with any freezing rain, any slick roads. It's just going to be wet, and that's really what we're going to deal with overnight. All the winter weather advisories are going to expire 6 p.m., but that's well to the north. That's not an issue down here. What will be an issue will probably be some fog, visibility issues, even dense, just because of all the moisture and the drizzle going on that could last throughout the night. Right now, there's just dense fog advisories to the south, but that could expand overnight. That one in Dubuque area is till 9, but I would expect we might see more of that. The warm air is to the south. You can see 50 degrees, 60 degrees down there, and that's where they had the stronger storms. To the north, that's the cold air. And I'll break down when we'll actually see that cold air, and like we said, when we'll see the snow later tomorrow, a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, we'll check back, Greg. Thank you. Top in our news today, the principal of Badger Ridge Middle School in Fitchburg died this morning after being hit by a car.
56-year-old Beth Steffen was walking near her home on South Saline Road at the time. Police say it happened around 6:30 this morning, and the driver stayed at the scene and is cooperating with police. Steffens was appointed interim principal this past summer. School District Superintendent Dr. Tremaine Clardy sent a letter to parents in the district saying, quote, "Our hearts are beyond broken." He also said school staff, including counselors and social workers, are available to assist students and staff. In other news today, it is the first day back at the state capitol.
And with that, lawmakers and the governor getting sworn in for a new term. Political reporter Will Keneally is there with more. Will?
So Mark and Susan, right behind us here, this rotunda just a few hours ago was filled with fanfare and music as the governor and other lawmakers took their oaths of office. We heard the governor lay out a plan for the new session, including increases to education funding and a tax cut for middle-class Wisconsinites. And over in the legislature today, the assembly took a vote on who will be the chamber's next speaker. But just outside the Capitol today, a group of Republicans had this message: anybody but the current assembly speaker, Robin Vos.
I mean, we may not end up with a confirmed speaker today, and we may. I mean, you know, Robin Vos is a very shrewd politician. He's been there too long, and he knows how to manipulate things.
And so just a few minutes before we came on air, the Assembly did vote to keep Assembly Speaker Robin Vos in his position. And he continues to serve as the state's longest Assembly Speaker now for more than a decade. So part of the reason why Vos here won re-election to the speakership is because of the sizable margin that the Republicans have in the state assembly. That's kind of the opposite of what we see in the U.S. House of Representatives, where a few Republicans are giving Kevin McCarthy there a little bit of a headache in his speakership race. We'll have more from the governor's speech here and Republican reaction coming up tonight at 5 and 6. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Will. As Will mentioned, dissension in the ranks has made a dicey process of electing a new speaker of the Republican-controlled House.
California Republican Kevin McCarthy became the first nominee for speaker in 100 years to fail to win enough support from his own colleagues during the first 2 rounds of voting.
Nicole D'Antonio has more from Capitol Hill.
A speaker has not been elected.
As the 118th Congress convenes, House Republicans have control, but not consensus.
No one
one in this body has worked harder for this Republican majority than Kevin McCarthy.
But Republican leader Kevin McCarthy of California fell short of the majority 218 votes to win the speakership in the first round of voting. Members of the Hardline Freedom Caucus are withholding support after their demands were rejected.
We said, we can get you to 218 with this. He stood up and he shook our hands and he said, I can't do it.
I will always fight to put the American people first, not a few individuals that want something for themselves.
For their part, Democrats united behind New York's Hakeem Jeffries as their next leader. He collected 212 votes. Many in the GOP were hoping to avoid any spectacle that divides the party and its leadership in the first days of this new Congress.
Do you solemnly swear?
Across the Capitol, Vice President Kamala Harris swore in the senators-elect. Kentucky Republican Mitch McConnell became the longest-serving party leader in Senate history.
We have a lot of work ahead of us, so I hope we can find some ways to come together and not succumb to gridlock.
Working to advance President Biden's agenda, Senate Democrats retain a slim majority in their chamber of this newly divided Congress. Nicole D'Antonio, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Well, Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin remains in critical condition after his heart stopped beating during a game in Cincinnati last night.
The team says he is sedated and getting treatment. Hamlin's family is thanking first responders, medical personnel, and well-wishers for their support. The 24-year-old remains in critical condition at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center after suffering a cardiac arrest during last night's Monday night football game against the Bengals. Hamlin suddenly collapsed after a tackle.
The opponent's helmet was in his chest, so he had blunt force trauma to the chest. And in the exact right spot, at the exact right moment during his heartbeat, it caused his heart to have what we call an arrhythmia, not beat effectively to push blood to the brain.
Players on both teams were visibly shaken and offered prayers as the ambulance departed the field. The game was postponed. Hamlin has only been in the NFL for 2 years, and he's already giving back to the community outside of Pittsburgh, where he grew up. Cardiologist Lawrence Phillips of NYU Langone Health said the rapid response of medical personnel was key.
CPR, we know, saves lives. And by rapidly responding in a medical emergency, you tremendously increase the likelihood that someone will survive from cardiac arrest.
Following last night's game, supporters have donated millions of dollars to his foundation. Donations topped $4.3 million as of this afternoon and are still going up. The NFL, by the way, has not made a decision about the possible resumption of the game, but did say it will not happen this week.
Former Badger tight end and New York Giants player Travis Breckham joins us now to discuss the player's perspective of this tragic event. Travis, thanks for coming in today.
Good to see you, Travis.
I appreciate it. Good to see you guys as well.
As a player, you know there's going to be injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a part of the game. And guys get beat up all the time, banged up, but nothing like this.
Yeah, this is something that, unfortunately, us as players know that there's a risk for that to happen. And you just, when it does, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you sign up for it but don't really think that it's going to happen. And it's a very tragic situation that we're dealing with now. A young man that is going out there trying to make a living for himself. I would assume that this is his dream job, just trying to live his dream, and unfortunate circumstances have him in a predicament where we don't know what's going to happen next.
There are a lot of kitchen table conversations going on around the country today about the game and about whether there should be more focus and scrutiny on player safety. There's been a lot of focus on brain injuries, of course, but not necessarily on tackles like this.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to some of the doctors speak, it's just kind of one of those situations where it was like it was the wrong hit at the wrong time. There is a lot of stuff going on as far as CTE. I ended up losing one of my friends that played on the New York Giants Super Bowl team with me to CTE. But to see guys, I mean, I think the NFL does a good job in regards to your physical and checking the status of your heart and EKGs, but for this situation to happen to a player on national television, there's families watching, is extremely devastating. This is something that I have never seen before, and I'm sure it was an easy decision for the guys that were playing that football game to not want to play anymore.
But there was a lot of criticism for the NFL, especially online, from people who were watching and don't necessarily understand how this works. Having been in the NFL yourself, what are some of the factors the league has to consider before postponing a game like this?
Yeah, I think the NFLPA does a great job in regards to player safety. Those are, they're great advocates for the current players and former players. But the NFL, they do have a job. And at that time, it seemed as if there's almost like a 5-minute rule to where teams can kind of debrief and figure out what happens next. But I don't think that any person in the right state of mind should have thought that they should have continued that game. There are a lot of people that paid tickets, paid money to go to those games. There could be people that have traveled across the world to go to a football game like that, but that all becomes irrelevant when you have someone's life on the line. Not just an injury. You see these people get carted off for injuries, and they put the thumbs up, and that's something that you love to see. But this man, they had to do CPR. His heart stopped. So this is a whole different ball game. This is extremely unfortunate, and I hope the NFL takes this with extreme consideration because stuff like this can't happen.
A player's life much more important than a game.
Absolutely.
Travis, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Thank you.
Police in Wisconsin Dells are searching for a 37-year-old man who hasn't been seen since the weekend. Matthew Haas was last seen in the city's downtown around midnight on New Year's Eve. Police say he is 5'6", weighs 135 pounds, and has brown hair and blue eyes. In an update today, police said the search for Matthew Haas led them to a wooded area along the Wisconsin River in Wisconsin Dells. Teams searched the area during the night. He was reported missing and continued yesterday before being suspended due to difficult and dangerous terrain.
Well, someone called the Portage High School this morning with an anonymous active shooter threat that was later ruled non-credible. District officials said they immediately called Portage police, who conducted a search of the school and its grounds while students were put on lockdown. Authorities later determined there was no active threat to student safety and have since lifted the lockdown. In 2022, the Portage School District and several others throughout Wisconsin were targeted with a series of false threats in what police say was part of a larger swatting effort, though it's unclear if today's call was made with a similar intent.
A federal judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by Edgewood High School against the city of Madison over the installation of lights on the school's athletic field. In a 28-page ruling issued last Friday, U.S. District Judge William Conley said Edgewood High School did not prove the city discriminated against the school on religious grounds. Neighbors near the school vigorously opposed the lights over noise concerns and increased traffic. Edgewood submitted a final appeal to the city in January of 2021. That appeal was denied, prompting the school to take the issue to federal court. The Goodman Foundation made a $250,000 gift to Centro Hispano, bringing the organization close to its goal of $20 million. The gift from the Goodman Foundation will support sustainability in the design for a new home for Centro Hispano. That new home will have outdoor spaces for wellness activities for adults and youngsters.
This new facility is really going to allow us to do the work that we already do so well in a space that makes it even better. So we're hoping to double the number of young people that we see.
Centro Hispano is the leading nonprofit for the Latino community in Dane County. The organization is a key resource to the community and provides programming to over 3,000 families a year.
Good for them. Well, still to come at 4, making timeless marble sculptures with modern equipment.
Robots are producing classics. We'll have that story when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Cold winter weather's here, so why feel it inside your own home and in your wallet? USA Insulation's premium injection foam fills every crevice of your walls. even going over your existing inferior insulation. Our foam gives you high-tech comfort and saves you money on utility bills year-round. So stop bundling up and start building savings. Call now and get up to a 30% tax credit and low monthly payments.
USA Insulation. Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection is here 24 hours a day.
7 days a week for all your residential and commercial plumbing services.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, we've got you covered.
Visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
For back pain, I've always been a take 2 and call in the morning guy. But my new doctor recommended Salonpas. Without another pill upsetting my stomach, I get powerful, effective, and safe relief. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-803-2714 or go to sonobello.com.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brux Night Guard. Now, the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to BruxNightGuard.com and order yours today.
Can't get home in time to watch the news? News 3 Now is always on.
Get Channel 3000 app now so you'll have all the day's top stories in the palm of your hand.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
Welcome back. Actor Jeremy Renner is still in the intensive care unit of a Nevada hospital after a snowplow accident near his Lake Tahoe area home.
The 51-year-old is in critical but stable condition after undergoing surgery. This video, obtained by TMZ, shows the moment air medics rescued Jeremy Renner off a snow-packed mountain near his Nevada home. The outlet says a snowplow ran over Renner's leg, causing extensive bleeding. A neighbor secured a tourniquet on his leg before he was airlifted. The 2-time Oscar nominee loves working outside in his mountain community, which he calls his happy place. He was asked about that during an interview on CBS This Morning last year.
You live in the country. What are you going to do when you get back?
Yeah.
First thing you're going to do?
Yeah. I got to move some fire trucks off the mountains before they get buried in snow.
That's fire trucks.
Yeah. You asked.
Renner repurposes fire trucks to donate to other communities. Officials say he was the only one involved in the accident, and the sheriff's department is actively investigating the cause.
The man being charged in the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students appeared in a Pennsylvania courtroom today. It took nearly 7 weeks for a suspect to be named in the case. Brian Koberger appeared in the Monroe County, Pennsylvania courtroom and did not contest his extradition to Idaho to face murder charges. The 28-year-old was taken into custody at his parents' home early Friday in connection with the November stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students. Law enforcement sources say he allegedly asked if he was the only one arrested.
We're trying to build this picture now of him, who he is, his history, how we got to this event, why this event occurred.
Koberger's family says they promote his presumption of innocence, adding in a statement, "We care deeply for the 4 families who have lost their precious children. There are no words that can adequately express the sadness we feel, and we pray each day for them." Police are still looking for a motive. Koberger's attorney says his client hopes to be exonerated of all charges.
Turning to Ukraine and a major attack on Russian soldiers by Ukrainian forces using American-supplied weapons. Shortly after midnight on New Year's Day, Ukrainian forces struck back, dealing the Russians a deadly blow. HIMARS rockets, like those seen here, flattened a Russian military base housing troops and storing weapons in the city of Malakiva. In a rare admission of military loss, Moscow claims at least 63 soldiers died. However, Kyiv says as many as 400 were killed and hundreds more injured. Jeff Hahn is a Russian expert at the London School of Economics.
On the one hand, they don't like to ever admit taking military casualties. On the other hand, by publicizing these numbers and keeping them relatively high, but not admitting to the full amount, they can instead try to rally public support.
Out of revenge, many Ukrainians now are bracing for what they believe will be a ruthless Russian response, meaning more destruction in southern Ukraine.
Stocks closed the first trading day of the new year with a loss, dragged down by Apple and Tesla. The Dow Industrials lost 10 points, closing at 33,136. The NASDAQ gave up 79. The S&P 500 was off 15. Our remarkable innovation is changing the way timeless art is created.
For centuries, world-famous Carrara marble has been used to make some of the most iconic sculptures in history by artists like Michelangelo.
Now, as Chris Leafstage shows us, a new type of artist is speeding up the process of bringing art to life.
It was the marble of Michelangelo, Canova, and now
it's called 1L.
A robot, 13 feet of zinc alloy doing the work of an army of Renaissance sculptors, says Giacomo Massari, the owner of Robotor, the company behind this invention.
It's working right now on a Venus sculpture. I think it's going to take about 4 or 5 days.
And how long would it have taken you before 1L got the job?
A couple of months.
That's a good employee.
He doesn't go on holiday, he doesn't get sick, he doesn't even sleep.
Crafting statues at an industrial scale and speed.
It's coated with a diamond powder.
Diamonds?
Yeah, synthetic diamond powder, yeah. It's the best cutting system.
In the very hills of Carrara, where Michelangelo sourced the marble for his David and Pietà. Today, art stars like Jeff Koons and Maurizio Catalan work closely with Giacomo, first to transform their ideas into 3D images, then sculpt them into blockbusters of their own, with a precision that's superhuman.
So this is like the Photoshop of sculpture.
Yeah, more or less, yes. It saves a lot of waste, and if there is something that is wrong or you don't like it, you can just go back. The cool thing about also this technology is that we allow the artist to think without any limit.
Thanks to a synergy of software and robotics that might be the real work of art.
What do you say to somebody who's scandalized by this, who'd say Michelangelo would be rolling in his grave?
Robot technology doesn't steal the job of the humans, but just improves it.
Some humans, however, might disagree. Here in the workshop of the Florence Cathedral, sculptors like Lorenzo Calcinai have maintained and repaired the cathedral's vast inventory of marble statues for centuries, the old-fashioned way.
We risk forgetting how to work with our hands, he says. I hope that a certain know-how and knowledge will always remain, although the more we go forward, the harder it will be to preserve it. But even he admits this profession can't remain anchored to old technologies. Outsourcing is nothing new. Renaissance masters, including Michelangelo, hired teams of anonymous artisans who executed their concepts. Today, some artists, like Koons and Catalan, are upfront about using the robots. Others prefer not to advertise it.
I think art is related to to the thought. So if you can imagine something, it's already a unique piece of art. And with people like us that are just the contemporary artisans, there are people that bring this idea to life.
But while these modern artisans are no doubt extraordinary, even they require old-fashioned humans to apply the finishing touches. Giacomo says 1L hasn't achieved perfection on his own, yet.
How close are you now? Are you at 100%?
Not really, not really. I think, let's say we are at 99%.
99%?
99%, but still the human touch makes the difference. That 1% is so important.
Chris Livesay, CBS News, Carrara, Italy.
Taking over the world, those robots.
So our days are numbered.
They are. Well, still to come at 4, travel has made an amazing post-pandemic comeback.
When we come back, it appears to be the case for the new year, 2023 as well. We'll find out what's new for travelers this new year after Greg's wet, wintry forecast.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Do you have a coffee smile? Drinking coffee causes yellow teeth for thousands of people just like you. And whitening toothpaste just doesn't make those stains go away. Introducing Power Swabs, the first teeth whitening system that lifts coffee stains off your teeth in less than 5 minutes without whitening strips or trays.
The Power Swabs were so easy to use. I don't have to have strips sitting on my face for an hour. I don't have to have a foam tray where I feel like I'm going to gag or I'm going to go play football. I've tried like every over-the-counter whitening because, you know, I'm one of those people that's like obsessed with white teeth.
So with the strips I've used in the past, most of them are like you got to leave it on for 30 minutes and the whole experience is just not comfortable. But with Power Swabs, I just snapped it open and rubbed it on and it was good to go.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab and I just got to rub it on my teeth, and that was it.
The Secret is a tooth detergent and whitening agent developed by Dr. Martin Ginniker that lifts stains off of your teeth. Power Swabs remove stains on natural teeth, veneers, bonding, caps, and crowns. The best part is you just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you'll have whiter teeth. No more sitting at home with a whitening strip or tray in your mouth for 30 minutes twice a day.
When I use these whitening strips, I noticed when I would drink, I would get this crazy sensitivity. It would go right to my brain, and I'm like, I hate this. So why do I have to go through the monstrosity of this pain just because I want to whiten my teeth? With Power Swabs, there was zero sensitivity.
Within the first day with the Power Swab, I noticed there was a difference. I really love the fact that you're able to go individually on each tooth and make sure that it's going to be wider.
Call for your 5-minute solution to whiter teeth. Whiten your teeth this new year by ordering Power Swabs and receive up to 50% off the regular price. Yes, 50% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
Every single day, we help families that have been tragically impacted in truck crashes. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. Truck crash? Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Well, take a look at this, or should we say these. The deep-sea batfish is one of several previously unknown creatures found below the surface of the Indian Ocean near the Cocos Islands Marine Park in Australia. The project also found other new discoveries of sea life. Those include the bland eel with loose, transparent skin, the pelican and slender snipe eels, high, thin lizardfish, and others. The park's chief scientist says this represents the discovery of an amazing number of potentially new species living in the marine park. Yikes! That's why I don't go in the ocean.
This is the stuff of your nightmares right here, yeah.
I did have eel on the cruise. They're serving eel on trout.
Oh, yeah?
Ew.
Well, now you know the expression on its face. You might not be able to eat it again.
No, I wouldn't anyway.
Oh, boy.
All right, so now that we're all awake.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going in the ocean anytime soon either. Seeing those eyes.
Yeah, so some snow a little bit.
It's going to be wet, but maybe snow tomorrow evening. But
Well,
still,
it's
it's
all
just
gone
going
now.
to be, yeah, it's all gone. I mean, it's just wet conditions. So maybe we might see the sun by Friday. I'll let you know
this
after
is
the
not
break.
good.
This is Connie Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. While things have changed, it's still necessary for families to stay connected. And when it comes to the loss of a loved one, it's important to process and grieve and honor your loved one in a way that keeps everyone safe. We're doing this through intimate services and private virtual streaming so your family can be part of the service no matter where they are. Ryan Funeral Homes are here with your safety in mind and compassionate care in your time of need.
Tobacco can end lives long before it kills you. Quit today so you have a tomorrow.
Call the Wisconsin Tobacco Quit line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer are living longer with Kisqali. So long live family time, long live dreams, and long live you. Kisqali is a pill proven to help women live longer when taken with an aromatase inhibitor. And Kisqali helps preserve quality of life, so you're not just living, you're living well. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Long live hugs and kisses. Ask about Kisqali and long live life.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who will keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543. News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, now we're just dealing with the warm conditions aloft now that's all rain, but we're kind of going to go backwards on the precipitation type. Right now we got rain. Really is because we just got low clouds. All the high clouds have kind of went away, so it's just dealing with the droplets that are in those low clouds. So that's why we got a lot of drizzle, rain going on. But eventually the cold air is going to win out again as it comes through, so we'll go back from rain to maybe rain, snow, and then maybe eventually get to snow as we get more towards Wednesday night into Thursday morning too. Overall, the big conditions right now, all the winter stuff is out to the north right now. That is for the basically the snow that continues to occur. Everything to the south has expired. We're kind of in the warm sector of the storm right now, so therefore we're not dealing with that. Like I said, tonight it's going to be really the dense fog is the big issue. We're not going to see any road issues. Temperatures will be above freezing. It gets a little tricky as you get towards Wednesday afternoon, evening, transition time. Even some freezing drizzle is potentially possible once again, and then we switch to snow with some light accumulation coming into Thursday morning. And I think eventually by Friday we'll kind of finally dry out. It's going to take some time for this low to push away. Right now it's spinning off to the west. Like I said, we're kind of what we call a dry slot. That means there's no clouds aloft, but you have the low clouds that remain. So we don't get much precipitation in this way, more drizzle. But you see they have a wave come through. Eventually by Wednesday that low begins to lift north. We're still not kind of on the backside, but by Wednesday afternoon, evening, we're going to start seeing some of that cold air filter down, so that means we'll have more of a better shot for snow at least going in through Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Then eventually we'll see some. Overall tonight, you're just going to see on and off drizzle, maybe a light shower, but not much else besides that. Temperatures really going to remain steady in the mid-30s. Once again, we're not going to see any freezing conditions. As we go through tomorrow morning, as you wake up, once again, temperatures above freezing. And then in the afternoon, we'll start to see the temperatures fall a little bit from west to east. And that means we'll start getting some of that rain turn to snow, drizzle turn to flurries. You can't even rule out some freezing drizzle in between there too tomorrow evening through tomorrow night. Snowfall, maybe 1 inch to 2 inches. Lesser as you go further south, more as you go a little bit further west. Once again, not going to be a huge impact, but come Thursday morning, we could have temperatures below freezing, so that could mean you have some slick roads just because of refreezing, and whatever snow that's fallen is on the ground too. Something to keep in mind as we go towards that time frame. Overall, as we get the 10-day, once we get past that, then conditions actually don't look terribly bad. As we get to the weekend, we dry finally out. We might see the sun eventually by Friday for once, and then we have another week's system come through Saturday with a little bit of snow, and maybe something towards the end of next week. But overall, no cold air to speak of. We're still kind of above average a little bit with temperatures, which should be about 28 for a high. So this pattern continues. It's not going to be any type of cold. It's not really a typical January pattern when we see more Alberta clippers, cold conditions come through. It's going to be fairly mild still.
I was going to say, it could be worse.
Oh, it could always be worse.
A lot worse.
Yes, it could be. It's January, so yes.
All right. Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Greg.
Well, 2022 proved to be an enormous comeback for travel as the pandemic eased.
Get ready for more of the same in 2023.
Wendy Gillette reports from Cannes, France, on some of the leading projections for this year.
Bridget Romness window shopped in Paris just before Christmas, visiting with her family from Arlington, Virginia.
Paris is beautiful. The history, everything about it, the shopping, the, beautiful sights.
Americans swarmed Paris and other international cities last year, and 2023 will be no different, according to the luxury travel network Virtuoso.
For 2023, you're going to see two things happening. You're going to see far more demand and much higher prices because of that demand.
Virtuoso forecasts France, Italy, and Greece will once again be among the top international destinations. Japan and South Africa are also expected to be very popular this year.
Last month, the International Luxury Travel Market Trade Fair took over Cannes, France, as a few thousand travel advisors, brands, and destinations prepared for the coming year. A joint report from ILTM and American Express Travel finds 57% of travelers will spend more. Only 10% intend to cut back. 50% are planning revenge travel to make up for lost time from the pandemic. And 60% of travelers will plan well in advance versus 13% taking last-minute trips, which were common last year.
This year, we're going to be looking at people really wanting to use travel agents after the pandemic. They want that security.
Another trend is more immersive stays. It's why brands like Hyatt are rolling out new programs like Find, which allows World of Hyatt loyalty program members to use points or buy experiences at hotels like a gourmet 6-course tasting meal at a chef's table at the Park Hyatt Paris Vendôme, where we got a special rate.
Experiences which are meaningful and which are thoughtful make a big difference.
He says it's those experiences that linger in guests' memories and entice them to return. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Cannes, France.
That looks good.
Let's go.
The new Hyatt program currently offers more than 200 experiences that can also be gifted to friends or family.
Let's do a little revenge travel.
Oh, I think so.
Yes.
We'll show that. Coming up next year on Live at 4, Consumer Reports has tips on how to avoid food poisoning.
And then coming up next hour at 5, a Platteville businessman goes viral with his small Wisconsin-themed clothing company. Our Andrew Banstra will tell us more coming up at 5.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
This holiday season at the Century House. Give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
New year, new you. Join Anytime Fitness and get 30 days free. Get more out of your membership than just machines. Because here, you can lift your weights and lift your mood. Now through January 31st, get 30 days free at Anytime Fitness. Hurry in now.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
It's a foodie's paradise in this month's Madison magazine. Explore our editor's list of restaurants and chefs transforming the local dining scene. Then create an indoor Eden with our Homebody's Guide to Houseplants. Madison magazine, online and on newsstands now.
Want to know right now what the weather will be like tomorrow? Download the First Warn Weather app and you'll get my customized forecast for tonight and tomorrow.
The First Warn Weather app. Get it now. Powered by News 3 Now.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
New at 5, News 3 Now is live from the Capitol for the state's inauguration ceremony. We hear from the governor on his priorities for the coming year.
Light rain and drizzle with patchy fog overnight. I'll break down when these conditions will improve and when that rain changes to snow at 5.
And ahead at 6, Wisconsin Pride has taken hold on TikTok. After going viral on the app, a local business has skyrocketing success. How the owners are handling the demand tonight at 6. Here's a live look from Washington, D.C. 68 degrees.
That's a beautiful shot of our nation's capital.
And apparently the assembly has given up for the night. They're going to try and vote for a speaker tomorrow.
Well, one thing we learned from the pandemic was the importance of hand washing to fend off illness and germs, and that lesson extends to the kitchen.
Consumer Reports explains when you really need to wash your hands while cooking to avoid food poisoning. Here's our Shane Hogan.
We've heard these food safety warnings before. Don't thaw frozen meat on the counter. Never mix cutting boards and utensils that have touched raw meat. And as tempting as it is, skip eating raw cookie dough. But this might surprise you. A recent study showed that spice containers can be covered in bacteria and are easy sources for cross-contamination.
It's really important to wash your hands before you touch any of these items, or really anything in the kitchen, especially if you're handling raw meat.
To play it safe, Consumer Reports says take the extra step and pour seasonings you plan to use into a separate dish beforehand. Then add to what you're cooking from there, discarding what you don't use. You might also want to wipe down the counters and containers after use. And don't forget to wash your hands before you cook and scroll too. Researchers have found electronic devices are teeming with bacteria that can travel to everything you touch, including your food.
It's equally important to wash your hands after you've handled raw meat, poultry, or seafood. And that's because salmonella and other bacteria can last on hard surfaces for up to several hours.
So that means also washing any surface that has had direct or indirect contact with raw meats, like kitchen counters, garbage can lids, refrigerator handles, and cutting boards. And be mindful of your sponges too. They are hotbeds of bacteria. Sanitize them in the dishwasher or microwave wet ones for 1 minute. And if they start to smell, that's your cue to throw them away.
I'm lucky to be alive.
That's a lot of work.
One thing you should not wash is raw meat before cooking.
Washing chicken or other meats in your sink could splash bacteria on your countertops and nearby utensils or dishes. Consumer Reports says skip that step and save some time.
I've never washed meat.
You're not supposed to, for that very reason. So you're doing it right. You're doing it right.
One thing. When we come back, UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff joins us. We'll talk about the rising cases of COVID.
And we'll find out more about the cardiac arrest which landed a Buffalo Bills player in the hospital in last night's Monday Night Football game. That's when Live at 4 continues.
Congratulations! It's a new sewing machine from the Electric Needle. It's more accurate than older models and has hassle-free threading. Plus, it comes with free unlimited owner's lessons. Find sewing success at the Electric Needle. Frontage Road off Seminole Highway.
Only a wise and lucky few understand the amazing benefits of real sauna bathing. Leisure Concepts has Finnish and infrared saunas that set up in a flash and will get you through winter happy and healthy. Now watch closely to see my favorite part of sauna bathing. Get to Leisure Concepts on the Beltline at the Park Street exit.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection is here 24 hours a day.
7 days a week for all your residential and commercial plumbing services.
From installation, repairs, and maintenance to complete sewer and drain cleaning, we've got you covered.
Visit MononaPFP.com.
Monona Plumbing and Fire Protection, a name you can trust when service is a must.
At Lawton Cates, your life counts is more than just a slogan. It's being prepared for all the challenges you may face after a serious injury. It's confronting every aspect of your case with honesty, integrity, and innovative solutions that have earned us a reputation for excellence in representing the injured. It's no wonder so many clients refer their own friends and family to our team of dedicated professionals year after year. Your life counts. Lawton Cates. Call today for a free consultation.
For back pain, I've always been a take two and call in the morning guy. But my new doctor recommended Salonpas. Without another pill upsetting my stomach, I get powerful, effective, and safe relief. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
News 3 Now is always on.
Get the Channel 3000 app, activate the push alerts, and we will send you breaking news, traffic, and weather alerts as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.
Congratulations! It's a new sewing machine from the Electric Needle. It's more accurate than older models and has hassle-free threading. Plus, it comes with free unlimited owner's lessons. Find sewing success at the Electric Needle. Frontage Road off Seminole Highway.
Yeah, we got one incident going on I-39, and the right shoulder up there is blocked. That was just about 416. They had a crash going on there, so it's backed up in that area. If you zoom in, you can see right there, visible right now, so hopefully they'll clear up. Go to the west, Mount Horeb looks good, 151, no issues to speak of. Up to the north is good, too. Monitor the fog out there. The roads are wet, but the fog will be something to keep in mind as you head out this evening.
All right, Greg, thank you. There are several big medical stories we're following today.
Buffalo Bills defensive player Damar Hamlin, of course, remains in critical condition after collapsing on the field during last night's game against the Bengals.
And as COVID cases continue to rise, the U.S. will require all travelers from China to show a negative COVID test. Dr. Jeff Potoff is here with this weekly visit. Good to see you again.
Hi, Dr. Potoff.
Good to see you guys.
Let's talk first about the football player, not specifically his case because we don't know his history, but a cardiac arrest is different than a heart attack.
Yeah, so most cardiac arrests are caused from a heart attack where you get a plugged vessel in your heart. Eventually that causes an arrhythmia, you go into cardiac arrest. But there's other things that can cause cardiac arrest too. Some people have underlying heart arrhythmias that can stop your heart. Some people have an enlarged heart, and with exercise that can sometimes start your heart. Some people can have a big blood clot in their lungs, and that can start your heart. So a lot of things can cause cardiac arrest in addition to heart attacks.
And how vital is time when something like that happens?
It's pretty much the most vital thing, because cardiac arrest means your heart's not pumping blood, and if your heart's not pumping blood, you're not getting oxygen to your brain, and brain cells start to die. So it's really seconds to minutes that you have to reverse that before someone either will pass away, or if you do get them back, has irreversible brain damage.
And we don't know what his condition is going to be, but they had his heart going pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any silver lining, he was in an environment where there were first responders immediately available, trained, they knew what to do. to. They had all the right equipment there, so you really couldn't have a better opportunity to do well in that kind of situation. A lot of people aren't so fortunate where this maybe happens at home or a workplace, and there isn't someone who knows CPR, or there isn't a defibrillator, and those folks don't do as well.
But this was very rare, like 10 to 20 cases a year.
Yeah, it's very uncommon to see this happen in young individuals, and like I said, we don't know risk factors or things like that, but in otherwise healthy individuals, to have this happen, certainly not common.
Yeah, very tragic, and we'll continue to watch it, and hopefully everything will be okay. Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about COVID. COVID cases are rising. A new subvariant is emerging. Just anecdotally, I'm hearing from a lot of people who are suddenly testing positive again. It feels a little bit like, here we go again. What level of protection do we have against any new variants that are emerging?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky right now. So this new variant, XBB 1.5, is an Omicron subvariant, but we know that it's a bit more slippery, and by that we mean it does a better job of evading our antibodies or our immune systems, which means that more people will likely come down with symptoms when exposed to this variant than, say, BA4, BA5, especially if they had that bivalent booster. It still looks as if we get pretty good protection from vaccination, maybe even previous infections, so we may not see a significant spike in, say, hospitalizations or deaths, but I wouldn't be surprised when you put together this new variant that's pretty transmissible, better at causing symptoms, with all these holiday gatherings, that we will see a bit of an increase in COVID cases over the next several weeks.
How is the flu situation?
So flu is still at a high level, but if there's good news, it's the last 2 weeks we've seen it come down a little bit. So it's still way too high, higher than we typically would see, but instead of continuing that skyward trajectory, it's come down just a bit. So let's hope that that trend continues.
We've talked that the flu vaccine is a good match to the current strain. Then why are so many people getting the flu?
Yeah, it's kind of like what we learned with COVID. So it's not that the vaccine completely protects you against getting flu at all, but it significantly reduces the severity of your symptoms. So a lot of people can still get flu even if the vaccine's a good match. But what that does mean is that people who are getting flu, I think the numbers are about 50% of them are very mild. The other almost 50%, moderate, and only a couple percent being severe. And that's more of a testament to the vaccine matching than people getting or not getting flu.
All right, lots going on.
Busy.
We'll see you again next week.
You bet.
Well, the final check of your forecast coming up.
Habitat Restore is full of great finds at great prices for a great cause. With a unique inventory of high-quality, low-cost goods, you can save money and feel good about your purchase. Shop Restore Dane County today.
Hey, do you want to join our rewards program? Collect hot dog points to unlock access to our VIP lounge.
That doesn't seem very
rewarding. With a BMO Savings Builder account, you get a cash reward for every month you save.
Wait, so you're going to reward me for saving my own money?
You got it. A little incentive to help you get into the habit of saving.
That sounds great, but do you have VIPs?
Yeah, absolutely. We call them customers.
When a bank helps you make real financial progress, that's the BMO effect.
Sometimes you're so busy taking care of everyone else, you don't do enough for yourself or your mouth. But eventually it will remind you. When it does, Aspen Dental is here for you. We offer the custom dental treatments you need all under one roof right nearby. So we can bring more life to your smile and more smile to your life, affordably. New patients without insurance can get a complete exam and x-rays for $29 and 20% off treatment plans. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Schedule your appointment today.
Attention mothers, did you take Tylenol or other acetaminophen pain-relieving products while pregnant? Recent evidence suggests children whose mothers took Tylenol while pregnant may be more likely to develop autism. Other acetaminophen products at risk include Excedrin, NyQuil, Dayquil, and other store-brand pain relievers. Children with autism have a hard time interacting with others. Those on the spectrum usually begin exhibiting social symptoms by the time they're 8 to 10 months old. Call now for a free confidential consultation.
Please call 800-379-7867.
Whether it's exercising more or eating healthier, we want you to keep those resolutions. Tomorrow we'll explain why you might want to partner up with your pets.
A storm system will bring us more rain and snow, more between 4:30 and 7 tomorrow morning.
News 3 Now is taking action, reaching out to our community to lend a helping hand.
Taking action by teaming with our neighbors and local leaders to help make this amazing community we share a better place to live.
Taking action for South Central Wisconsin. News 3 Now.
Yeah, we got drizzle and fog overnight. That's the thing to really look at. Then tomorrow evening, we might turn to snow more, maybe tomorrow night. So something to keep in mind of, but otherwise, it's going to be a dreary conditions. Might see the sun by Friday with the next chance of snow, maybe coming Saturday.
Might see the sun. Thank you, Greg. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, keeping houseplants thriving in this weather can be a challenge.
But help is on the way. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company takes your plant and garden questions live. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
Parker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Parker Heating and Cooling.
This year, say yes.
I couldn't be more thrilled with my results. I'm over the moon happy. Look at that waist.
Yes to confidence.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
Yes to a new shape.
These are my results. I am so happy.
Yes to a new you.
I'm Dr. Elena Vega. Imagine you could remove this much fat from multiple areas all at one time.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good.
I have the flattest tummy that I've had in 25 years.
I'm able to wear things that I never thought I would wear again.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
Find out how you can get $250 off with our New Year exclusive offer. Call 1-800-993-0752 or go to sonobello.com.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
Bag sale, 15% off. So I was thinking we could fix up a few things around here. New cordless drill, so we can finally hang those pictures. LED bulbs, that'll help with the electric bill. Picked up some toothpaste for us. Always need batteries. New coat of paint for the mudroom. And finally, something to unclog that basement sink.
The bag is back. Hurry in and get 15% off everything you can fit in the bag now at Menards.
At Parker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy a furnace. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase a furnace and an air conditioner at the same time.
Parker Heating and Cooling.
In today's Final Touch, if you got a fruitcake over the holidays and you have no idea what to do with it, eat it. Today is your day. I love fruitcake.
January 3rd is National Fruitcake Toss Day. The first fruitcake for mail order was baked here at the Collins Street Bakery in Corsicana, Texas in 1913. Today is the day to rid yourself of leftovers, or for those people who don't care for the cake, chocked full of candied fruits and nuts and soaked in rum. Well, the record toss, by the way, is 1,430 feet, set by a group of Boeing engineers who used a machine to launch theirs into the sky.
Make good doorstops,
Don't get hit with it.
No, that's true. Yeah, they're tough.
You like these things.
Oh, I love them. What's not to love?
Look
Fruits, nuts, and rum.
Made. All right.
It's a good debate.
That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Be careful out there with the fog. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.